If you hear my dogs crunching bones in the background, it's because they're crunching bones in the background. It's Christmas, and they each got a prime rib bone. And if you say that's bad for them, well, piss off. It's Christmas while you're drinking your alcoholic eggnog. Please tell me more about how bones are bad for my dogs. Anyway, on to this travesty. So these idiots were out in front of school property, and yes, it is a crime to have a gun on school property. They were out in front of it. This idiot was wearing a full face mask. Look, his face is all covered. He has sunglasses on. He is the epitome of a fucking retard. In front of school property where they store the buses with a firearm. Now, I know that some of these small-minded individuals, and yes, I did watch both, it's really stupid. They get very upset that the police respond in force. And yes, they are going to respond to potential terrorist activities or threats against children. Oh, wait, there are no children here. Yes, I know. Be patient, small minds. Be patient. They are going to respond to threats like this in force. Armed men in force, they are going to respond in force. They aren't gonna make it a mano fight. They aren't here to fight fair. They're here to take down the bad guy and not die in the process. The last thing the police want is a fair fight. The last thing I want the police to do is have some stupid code of honor where they have to fight fair. I don't want to pay their life insurance policies. I don't want to fund their grieving spouses. I would rather have the policemen go home nice and safe because they responded in force. Maybe just responding in force will deter idiots who go out there wearing full face masks from popping a few rounds off just to see what happens. So anyway, they take this particular idiot right here takes great umbrage that so many police officers showed up, and they stopped. They closed off the road. So first thing he says is, it's a busy road, and they could easily pull off onto the embankment. Well, they're probably using the police cars as shields. You dum-dum. They're probably using the police cars to protect them from ongoing traffic because they don't know how many of you there are yet. And then the police go and seal off the road. That protects the motorists. They have to go around. Yes, it's an inconvenience. But the police, again, don't know how many people they're dealing with. They see two people with guns. And all of you have seen the video and you know there's only two people, but you have to remember the police don't know that there's only two people. So they're showing up to a situation with one idiot with a long arm strapped in front of him, the other idiot with his full face covered, carrying a pistol on his hip. Oh, it only marginally imprinted. You couldn't tell it was a pistol. Yeah, David, they can use their minds. Excuse me, Earl. I called you by your middle name. That probably isn't right. They're not idiots, Earl. He knew right away it was a firearm. He called it. Oh, he didn't know. He knew. You dummy. So it is a crime to carry a firearm on school property. It doesn't have to have children there. Now, let me run you through a scenario since there aren't children here. Let me run you through a scenario. A group of idiots wearing full face masks and carrying weapons hijacks buses. They then go on routes picking up the kids and taking them to do nefarious things. It can't happen. Well, one of these idiots is a convicted sexual predator. He is a rapist. You're looking at News Now Rapist right now. You can look him up on the Texas Department of Public Safety's website. He is a convicted rapist. Threat assessment level moderate. He has committed felonies after he was convicted of rape. Felon with a firearm. Gee, golly, I wonder why the police are rolling out in force. Now, as far as IDing is concerned, they did ID News Now Rapist. And in the very first few minutes, very quickly, Jack gives his name and his YouTube. account. They know who he is. You're damn skippy they know who he is, and they know he likes to carry dummy, or he claims that he carries dummy weapons, and he is an idiot with a firearm, but he doesn't get hostile. He doesn't actually start popping off. Well, yet, anyway. And they probably figured out who this idiot is, but they're going to ID him, and they're going to make sure. Because this convicted sexual predator is walking around outside of a school bus depot. Is he going to go in and sniff the seats? We'll never know. Now, he claims in this video that he normally carries a Kodiak, which would not be a cap and ball, and he doesn't show you what he has in his little holster here. As far as my understanding is concerned, in Texas, under Texas statutes, it is not a state law violation for him to own firearms at home at this point. That is my understanding. He may be entitled to own real firearms at home, not cap and ball firearms. But he is certainly not allowed to carry them in public. He certainly does not have a concealed carry permit of any sort. And if he were to carry a Kodiak .44 caliber Magnum in public, then he would certainly be subject to arrest for it. And he would achieve another felon with a firearm conviction very quickly. So he's full of crap. He's lying to you again. So thank you very much for watching. By the way, the relevant Texas Penal Code is 46.03. That's carrying on a school property. Yes, you're required to ID if you're carrying concealed carry. It's the government code. It's 411 point something. I don't remember what it is. The cops have reasonable suspicion to detain you if you're concealed carrying, because the default position under 46.02, I think, is that you cannot carry concealed. That's the default position. The concealed carry permit allows you to carry. It allows you to do something that would otherwise be illegal. If you are concealed carrying and you don't offer up your license to carry, then the police have reasonable suspicion to detain you. And actually, before I wrap this up, at the very beginning, this mouth breather thinks that things that are legal can't be used to create reasonable suspicion. Once again, I bring you right back to Terry v. Ohio. The guys in Terry v. Ohio were standing on street corners, talking to each other, walking and looking into the windows of businesses that were open. They were window shopping, essentially. Congratulations. That was enough. All perfectly legal activities. That was enough to give Officer McFadden reasonable suspicion that they were armed, that they were going to commit an armed robbery, and thus that they were armed, thus allowing the pat down for weapons, thus allowing him to find the weapon, thus keeping the weapon from being suppressed as evidence, thus allowing Terry to be convicted of a firearms violation. All perfectly legal activity. Another one of my favorites to cite is Illinois v. Wardlow. Wardlow is standing outside of a building, at the corner of a building, just standing there holding an opaque bag. That means it's a bag that you can't see what's inside of it. He sees the police see him. He's in a area known for narcotics trafficking. He's doing nothing illegal, standing on the street corner holding a bag. That is not illegal. He runs. They chase him. Running isn't illegal. They catch him because he's in a high crime area. They suspect that he may have a gun. They suspect the gun may be in the bag because where people are illegally selling narcotics, they tend to be armed. They find a weapon in there. their reasonable suspicion is enough that it allows them to charge him with and not have suppressed the unlawful carry of a firearm. His conviction is upheld. He is popped for it. So yes, doing perfectly legal things is not a defense to reasonable suspicion. Now, I'm sure that our boy News Now rapist here is going to bring up DeBerry, and I'm waiting for him to do it. But he didn't cite any case, and I think the reason why he doesn't cite cases, he just says the courts have ruled, is because he's stupid and he doesn't know, and he's bullshitting you because he's a liar. If his lips are moving, Earl is lying to you. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.